Hello addicted, welcome back. If you follow me on my blog, you saw that I said this week we weren't going to have a video, but I lied because here we are a day later, but it's okay. Today we are going to talk about Turbomander. So, what is Turbomander? Turbomander is a Commander variant that my friends and I created, or something like that, in which the idea was to have faster games and to be able to play in shorter period of time, so we can play, for example, 1 or 2 rounds while we had to leave. So that's what the basic idea. So how does Turbomander work and what's the difference? You need just your commander and everything is basically the same, except that there's an additional phase before your upkeep that is called the turbo phase. In this phase, you basically cast the top card of your library for free, and that's the big difference. There's a little bit of rules, but that's mostly it. What do you need? As I said, just your commander, friends trying to play, and nothing else. Which are those special rules? The first thing you notice when playing Turbomander is that you start with no hand. You have your on-top step, then it comes the turbo phase. In the turbo phase, you reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you have to cast it. So, if you have a very good board, but there's a border wipe, I'm sorry, but you have to cast it. It's not a mate. There are special effects when casting things from the turbo phase. For example, if a spell has X in its cost or an additional cost like Kicker, you can pay it with your available mana and it counts as X or whatever it needs. Then, for example, Overload, you can cast it in Turbomander. So if you cast a Cyclonic Rift, you can cast it overloaded. You have to make just a simple thing. Another thing is that if there is a spell or something that activates during your upkeep, but you cast it in your previous turbo phase, for example, this turn you cast something that affects your upkeep, it won't trigger until your next turn. It doesn't have haste or something like that. I don't really know how to compare it, but the thing is that your effect doesn't trigger until your next upkeep if it was played during your turn and during your turbo phase. After you cast anything, you go to the upkeep and play your turn normally. Another thing is if you get a land on top, you play it, but it doesn't count as the land of turn. So let's say, for example, your first turn, you're first player in Turbomander and you turbo a land, and then in your draw step, you draw a land, so you can play the land you draw. Besides that, everything is normal. The good thing about Turbomander, as I said, is that it makes games real quick. Sometimes you get crazy and go very long turns, but this is normally very fast turns. Another thing is it's very unpredictable. For example, if you play a lot of control, you're going to have kind of complicated turbo because anything can happen. Anything, you can have a very good board and then you board wipe everything. A friend that has a commander with the Ur-Dragon always have that problem. He may have a very good board state and then he draw a Damnation and bye everything. But yeah, you can have something very brutal on turn 1 and that's okay, that's it, we can do anything. For example, having a Eat That Betrays in turn 1, there's nothing you can do. Well, you can keep playing and trying to get something to get rid of it, but it's normally very difficult, especially because you have no hand. But yeah, that's basically the idea. If you wanna try it, I recommend it a lot. It's very fun. We usually play it when we have short time or we are, for example, in Taco Bell and we want to play, but we don't have too much time. So instead of one game of normal Commander, we can play 2 or 3 Turbomanders, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, thank you for watching. As always, see you next week. We're going to have another D99 episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment. What do you think? Do you like Turbomander? It's really cool. It's really cool. Don't forget to click the bell to get notified when I upload videos. Follow me on social media. I'll leave the links in the description. And yeah, that was a very short video. I just wanted to explain Turbomander. It's not complicated. It's meant to be pretty easy, pretty fast. It's like Turbo. And yeah, see you next time. Thank you for watching.